been a while.
Can everyone mute, please? Because we're going to start the recording. Hi, everybody. I hate to be that person. So hi, everyone. My name is Timothy Gager, and welcome to Virtual Friday's Dire Literary Series. And tonight, my guest is my friend and poet, writer, publisher, bookstore owner, Gloria Mindock. And let's do a little fun thing. It's so fun. With loving technology, I will share the screen. So here is Gloria. And basically, I tell people, if you're interested in our feature, there is the website, it's gloriamindock.com. And what to really know about Gloria is she is the publisher at Červená Barva Press. Her last book, Ash, is a poetry book that's critically acclaimed. And also you can check out the Lost Bookshelf, which is her bookstore. So so that's what I think. And Gloria is such a kind and giving person. I will put that as part of the intro because we don't say that enough about folks. So with a little bit less from me, let me turn this over to Gloria.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tim, for having me here to read. I'm really excited. And I'll be reading from Ash. This is it. And it's really about bad relationships, one of my favorite topics. And people always stop me on the street and cafes, even when I'm shopping. It doesn't matter where, and tell me their problems. So I decided to put it to good use, and I wrote what they told me, except I added a twist to it and decided to use fire and destruction in many of the poems. So I'm going to get started with murder. I love serial killers. I mean, reading about them, I shouldn't say I love them, but hey, I watch documentaries on them. I love forensics, all that stuff. So the first two poems I'm going to read were influenced by that. And the first one is called R/N. And the first stanza is the man, and the second stanza is the woman. R/N. R liked tea in the afternoon before he went fishing. Sometimes the crisp air mortified him. He would sit and build a fire. One by one, he took the worms and burnt them. He was grateful for such beauty. N thought she could allure him to stay home in fishnet stockings. It never worked. She fell into this routine daily. The police found her dead, not much left on top of a woodpile, with fishnet stockings on the ground. I guess R was paying attention. J/M. J loved fake names. He was a burnt out novelist, wrote too many stories about horrific blind dates. He was a wild man, too many plastic bags in his kitchen. He would kill you, burn you, pretending it was love. M, an elementary teacher, went out with J. She thought he was popular, would bring her wealth. M was wrong. Her fate lay at the water's edge, an alligator. Carrots. There is blood on my hands from the knife. It was an accident, I said, as I sliced the carrots into tiny roundness. You lost your appetite. Blood will do this. I took the carrots to the sink, seeing water mix with redness. I pictured a long coffin with water inside, soaking a body. The sink was drained, carrots thrown out, orange circles in the garbage. You banged your hands on the table. It was legitimate. Protected. Inside the house, was his life protected by a roof. By the time the firemen got there, it was gone. He sifts through what remains, eyes sunk, hands asleep, brain idle for hours. The man surfaces his heart. He carries it away delicately. It still beats, and he breathes, asking, how much sorrow can this heart take? There is never an answer. Factory. The body is weak, susceptible to illness. A factory where humans stand in line as Earth runs out of room. What will kill them? So many buried, no one visits the graves, yet their stones become tourist attractions. Someone left a Coke on top of one grave. They could have poured it into the ground. The soul wanted a drink, but the soil remains parched. When I was growing up, my aunt gave me a photo of a saint in a little tiny frame with jewels around it and told me never to put it in the drawer. And I was raised that it's a sin to put anything religious in a drawer. So this poem was inspired by that. What if God is strict? I am looking for the right flesh with no bleeding. My voice free, hanging from the crucifix. Passion from these lips igniting sin to clot my mouth. Crucifixes break every day, are shoved into a drawer, collect dust in a thrift shop. Sometimes Jesus becomes so dusty that cleaning him is a problem. The dust too thick to let him resurrect. When he does, he sneezes. Maybe Jesus will develop an allergy, a miracle of life. This next poem is what I call Midwestern. I grew up in a small town, 3,800 people. The only thing to do was 3 state parks near us, so that was heaven. This poem is pretty much self-explanatory. Escape. Trying to escape, but I am surrounded by flat land, no place to go. If I stand behind the tree, you will find me. Behind the barn, you will find me. Behind the house, you will find me. You would not expect me to hide down by the Illinois River or in the caves of Starved Rock. I will be there until my body decays. I will become a beautiful plant. When you walk past, I will give you a rash. And the last poem I'm going to read is called Messes. How many messes do I have to clean up for what comes out of your mouth? After the fire died out, the ashes were swept. No house, no clothes, no furniture, no books, nothing left. No sign of us living there. Life is funny sometimes. It takes fire after fire until the water comes. It was cool, soothing, beautiful, and glowing. Unfortunately now, there is only the dimness of the sunset happening too many times. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gloria. And what a wonderful reading. And
Thank you.
if folks would like to ask Gloria some questions, put them in the chat and I'll get to most of them. One thing I noticed about your reading tonight, and I've noticed about your poetry in general, is how you close poems. Your last lines are always really, really strong. Is that something that always kind of came naturally to you, or do you have to work harder on closing your poem?
I never have to work hard closing them. I actually find that easier than the rest of the poem. It just comes to my head automatically. It's usually, like I said, the rest of it I have to work on. So it's easy.
Now, why do you think people approach you with their problems in supermarkets? Usually most people are kind of running away from me.
You know, I have sucker written across my forehead. Everywhere I go, it never fails. Traveling on a plane one time, I had a 2-hour flight and I had another social worker actually sitting next to me, and all he did was talk about his problems for 2 hours. I asked him kindly to be quiet. I wanted to read, but that didn't work. But all the time, I don't know what it is.
Are you the solver of these problems, or?
No, I think they just want somebody to listen to, a stranger that they don't know. Maybe that's easier than talking to somebody that they know.
It might be a way to attract people to the lost bookshelf. You can just say, look, I'll hear your problems. Check out the books.
How about buy a book? Pay me to listen to you.
Now, with your love of serial killers, are there any, do you listen to any crime podcasts as well as read about them?
No, pretty much just the documentaries and reading the books, and then forensics. I love that. So I should check out the podcast.
I recommend Crime Junkies for you because you'd probably really like that one. But my question with that is, have you written any poems directly to a serial killer or directly about a specific serial killer? And I was going to say who's your favorite, but that's not really appropriate with serial killers.
That's my favorite, all of them. No, I think I haven't written anything to them or pretty much about them, even though my poems are influenced sometimes by them. I don't know if I'll do that, maybe at some point. I have like right now 5 manuscripts in the work, so I don't think I'm going to add anything else.
Now, with all this stuff in the works, do you have a regular routine to help you get around to working on all of your writings and publishing?
Not for writing. I'm a sporadic writer. I can go months without writing, and then all of a sudden I go crazy and I write. And I don't pressure myself. It happens when it happens, and that's when I write my best. I tend to like the wee hours the best, after midnight when it's real quiet. I love that time. It's my favorite time, really. And so it's, as far as the press goes, that's all day long. It seems like I have a lot to do. And so that's kind of on a daily schedule, I would say.
Now, what's the longest period of time that nothing has happened? You said you write when things happen. Have you ever been surprised at the length of time between writings?
No, never. I've gone 3 months without writing and then all of a sudden write. I don't worry about it or stress myself out about it. I know it will happen. And that's very freeing than having all this stress. Oh, I didn't write today. Oh my God, or I haven't written in a week. I can't stand it. What's wrong with me? No, I don't do that.
Now, I really appreciate you reading from Ash. Lots of time, I guess, we'll have a new book and then they'll be like, oh, I'm so sick of reading this. I'll read new stuff. But I really love Ash. And, I always think of Ash and, the Phoenix Rising, but in this book, it just seems like it's just whatever's left is the destruction of everything. Why do you think that your work is so dark?
I love writing about the dark side of things and destruction. You name it, I kill it. And I love it. It to me, it's exciting. I guess I'm really morbid, but I don't want all this. I guess I'm not a goody type writer, whatever that means. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I think it's more interesting for me to write the darker it is. Plus, as you know, I write a lot about the atrocities, and that's very dark. And I want to be a voice and wake people up to what's going on in the world. So there's so much bad things happening, and I don't want people to forget it.
you've won a lot of awards, and it's really blowing the number of awards that you've won. Out of all of them, which is the one that you were the most excited about being honored with?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. I would say I'm honored by them all the same. Anybody that appreciates anything I do, I'm so grateful. Um, I'm touched by it. Um, so many people write and do deserve awards and that and never get them. I'm really not into that scene like, oh, I got an award, blah, blah, blah. But I do appreciate it. And like I said, I'm very touched by it.
Well, Ash won the Speak Up Talk Radio Firebird Award, which is a mouthful. So now what is that award?
It is a mouthful. Well, I entered that because all the money, I guess your fee that you send in goes to helping the homeless and women in shelters, and they make pillowcases and do a lot for the homeless. And I really loved that idea, being a social worker for how many years. So I thought I'm going to enter this because I knew where the money was going. It's for a good cause, and that's very important to me. So when I won it, I was shocked, of course, and happy and very honored. But the most important thing is that money went to help someone, and I'm very big into that.
You're also very big in getting your books translated. And, why is that? And when did that start with your work?
Oh gosh, it started, let me think here, probably with Blood-Soaked Dresses, my first book. And then I met Flavia Cosma, and she was the first person to translate me, and it was in Romanian. And then she introduced me, and please forgive my pronunciation of this name, Ian Tepala. And he loved my work, and so he published me in his magazine and in an anthology. And I got to talk to him once before he died, so it was very special. And he means a lot to me, and I always carry him in my heart, and that was the start of it. And since then, I've been lucky. People just have said, I want to translate your poems. And I'm like, go ahead. And it's an honor. And it means the world to me because I want my work read in different countries.
Let's talk about your press, Červená Barva. With a lot of small presses tend to come and go. And how long has Červená Barva been in existence now?
16 years.
And how has the press itself changed in those 16 years?
Well, it's gotten busier, that's for sure. More books, more authors, a lot of work. I have a lot of people around me now that are part of the press that I didn't have before. And I'm very happy to have them be a part of the press. It means a lot to me. And they have the same views I do. And work hard too. They have strong work ethics and just are very sweet. I like kind people around me and nice people. So I would say it changed that way. It's grown so much, it's hard to keep up with it. And I'm very excited about that aspect.
And how's the publishing environment in general changed, do you feel, since 2005?
Oh God, a lot more presses. There are so many small presses. It's really quite wonderful because it opens the door up to more writers to have the work published. And then a lot of them do close down, which is sad because they can't make it. Funding is really hard for a small press. So I think, that definitely is a change, but there's many. And I'm really happy to see so many presses.
With Červená Barva, what was your most successful product? I hate to use, but they are products, though, right?
Do you mean books? What
Yes.
was it?
I don't mean handbags. I do mean books. I think products. The word product was a kind of a little side event there. What's your most successful book?
Well, actually, a chapbook many years ago by Anne Woodworth. She lives in Washington, D.C. that sold like mad. Another chapbook, Preston Hood. I can't remember the name of the chapbook, I should, but that really, really did well. And then a full-length book, Sweet Snow by Alexander Motel. And then there's a few other books too. I would have to refresh my memory on them, but this is just off the top of my head. But I want to point out, to me, every author does good. I'm happy to see anybody buy a book and have it read. I want my books to be read that I publish and my authors, and they're all great. So granted, yes, there are books that did better than others, but to me, the most important thing is getting their work out there because, I love it. I love what I do.
And what do you do to market the books that you put out?
I have 2 distributors. I have learned a lot about marketing. I took a couple classes on marketing to learn more and to keep up to date on things because things change. I find the hardest thing is publicity because sometimes it takes money to do really good publicity for a book. And sometimes that doesn't make a difference. At one time I had 2 ads in Poets and Writers. It didn't make a difference in sales. So you never know. So I just do the best I can. Facebook has been good. I think it's a great marketing tool. Of course, the email and various other venues, ways to publicize, but some of it's complicated. I don't really have time to do it or to learn it better than what I learned in the classes. It takes, hours sometimes. You look at the clock and you haven't even made a dent.
So as a writer who's published often and as a publisher, what do you feel is meant, or what do you feel is a good experience to have within the writer publishing relationship?
So you mean between me and the author, what is a good
Yeah, or
relationship?
you as a writer with a publisher, what makes a good experience?
Oh, okay. Well, first I'll talk about a publisher. Those that have published me have been great publishers. I mean, I'm appreciative that they, published my books, of course, but their genuineness is really important to me. I don't feel like a number with them. I feel like I matter as a writer and as a person, and that's a great experience. There's nothing like it. And then as far as me as a publisher with an author, someone that, of course, sends clean manuscripts, please, and just works with me through the manuscript and all the things that I need, from them, getting it to me on time, and that makes a good experience. And really in all the 16 years, everyone has been great except a few people.
Well, without naming those people or publishers, what was the bad experience that was involved?
Attitude. Someone took an entitled, egotistical attitude with me. And I don't go that because there's no need for that. And I said, bye-bye.
The cover of your book, Ash, is such a beautiful cover. Did you have any input in that, or?
Yes, actually, Ami K, who is the publisher of Glass Lyre Press, she gave me a site to look at and said, see what you would like for a cover, see if you see anything. So I looked through millions of photos of ashes and fire and stuff, and and I kept looking and looking, and then all of a sudden there was that photo, and I thought, that's it, that's my cover. So I emailed her and asked her if it was okay if I used that, because I really love it, and she loved it too. So that's how that cover came about, and I'm so grateful to her.
What do you look for when you're creating a cover for the press, or you're thinking about a cover for your own work?
Well, for the press, I want it to stand out, to kind of fit with, of course, fit with the book. Bill does a lot of the covers for the press. He's really good at it and finding images and stuff. So I kind of leave that to him. And for me, I've been lucky to be able to use what I found for my covers, except for one, which was in Romanian. They picked that cover.
Now you're working on 5 manuscripts. Do you have anything coming out? I know Ash came out in 2021. Do you have anything upcoming?
Not book-wise. They're all in the process. So I'd have to say not yet, but I hope in a year to have at least one manuscript done out of all of them.
Well, how do you balance all of that? You're helping other writers, you're publishing them. How do you find the time to write and create your own work?
Well, when it's sporadically, it just happens. I don't really think about it. I mean, I make the time. If I feel like writing, I write. If I don't, I don't. I can only work so long on the press. It does get tiring if you do so many hours in a row. So, I don't know. I can't really answer it. It just works out for me.
All right, let's do something fun to end this. So I want you to kind of whirl around and randomly pick a book behind you without looking, and then tell me a little something about it.
Oh, no. What if I don't know anything about it? I have a lot of books some I haven't read. Okay, here we go.
Let's see. I think Karma's going to pick one that you've
I'm
read.
afraid.
If it's one of mine that you haven't read, we'll just kind of edit that out.
Okay, so I picked Go to the Pine by Mark Pavlik. And I read this so long ago, I don't remember it without looking at it again and refreshing my brain, because I read so many books every day. I'm an avid reader, so I can't remember it, but I do know I love it. And he's a wonderful writer. He's the editor of Hanging Loose Press in Cambridge. The press is based out of New York mostly. And so he's a great writer. He has a new book coming out by Mad Hat Press, based on Denise Levertov. So he's reading at Grolier. And so that's all I can say, but he is a great writer. I published a book of his. So that's all I can say. So at least
that's quite a promotion that you had of Mark. And so we have Ash, which I would like to promote. And so everyone should pick up a copy of Ash. You heard Gloria read from it, and it was a wonderful reading and such wonderful poems. And I'd like to thank Gloria for being with us. And where can people find Ash? What's your favorite indie bookstore?
Okay, well, it's at bookshop.org, Glass Lyre Press, Amazon. It will be at Grolier shortly. And I would say, if you're local, buy it from Grolier and support them. We need our independent bookstores.
Well, Gloria, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to say goodbye to our friends that might be watching on the Facebook stream. If you asked a question in the Facebook stream, there's no way I can see it. So if you'd like to participate, please join the Zoom link the next time. And also, if you want to participate in the wonderful open mic, which comes after our features, please log into the Zoom link. So thank all of you for watching.